Hey, it's me. Well, this is, I don't know if you're seeing that. It's kind of flashing, kind of weird. Like the camera is like not stable or something. Yeah, I'm in 3D. That's crazy. It's a different camera. We'll call this a phone because it's a phone. Okay, here's what happened today in my interesting adventures. Comment below if you think my adventures are interesting. Okay, went to a thrift store. Yes, it's true. It all happened. But I went to a different thrift store. And I was able to, well, first I went to one thrift store, Goodwill. And I was able to pick up a couple albums. You know, they're $2 there. Then went to another thrift store that I've only recently discovered has records. Went there and their records were $2. Then I went to Walmart. And my credit card didn't work. Let's say this was probably an accident. Probably. Let's hope. Anyway, my booty for today, my bounty, in no specific order. Yeah, let's do it in a specific order. I feel specific. Okay. They're all $2 albums anyway. But I got these at the Goodwill. Okay, and they're in good shape. I had a lot of records there, but only a few that I would pay $2 for. Because your dollar records, okay, alright, let's say 50-cent records. I'll buy anything, almost anything, if it's in good shape and it's 50 cents. Dollar records, it has to be in very good shape. And you know, I don't pick up just anything at $1. When you get to $2 records, it better be something I want. It better be good. Okay, here's what I got today. I got Keely Smith. This is Be My Love. This was she was a famous 50s performer. In Vegas and elsewhere. And for a while, she was married to Louis Prima. And these are his greatest hits. These are from the same store. They were right next to each other. Okay? And of course he's got his, let's see. I'll Walk Alone, I'll Be Seeing You, Lady in Red, Civilization, Just a Gigolo and I Ain't Got Nobody is not on here. Had I looked a little closer, I'd still buy the album. But, you know, it's on Dot Records, so was Keely Smith's. Now, Louis Prima, versatile Las Vegas performer. Okay, and he continued his career all the way up until he dropped dead of a massive heart attack in 1978, long after Keely Smith had dumped his ass. It's a true story, I think. If not, it should be true. Don't you agree? It's good stuff here. I'm not kidding. Alright. Now, you gotta... Okay. Do you have a record collection? Then you have a copy of this record. I get 3 or 4. I know Mr. Value Vinyl, Val, we call him, is close to his friends, has probably 5 or 6 copies, at least. A ton of copies. Some people collect only copies of this record. But, you know, I collect... whenever I buy a record that I already have, well, it better be an upgrade. It better be something good, right? Now this is in pretty dang good shape for this record. It's a stereo copy. That means you play it on your stereo. Herb Alpert's. Now, then I stuggered over to the other thrift store, which I'm telling you, I went immediately online when I saw that my credit card was declined, and at this Walmart, and I checked this other place to make sure there weren't any unusual charges, and I only paid for 4 records. I was only charged for like the $8.66. That's all it was charged. So it may be just a fluke. Maybe Walmart didn't want to take my card. Maybe I need to go talk to my bank tomorrow. I have the money. Trust me, I'm not a bum. Not yet. Okay, well, at that thrift store, which didn't have anything to speak of, other than a few records. And I looked through and I said, well, these are good selections. I'll pick these 4. And then I looked some more, right? And then they have a whole bunch of more recent things, like a lot of Moody Blues, some Loverboy, Boots Randolph, Ace Cannon, Yakety Sax. They've got that. The original Yakety Sax by Boots Randolph. I didn't pick that up, though. I mean, I know it's there. It's there if I want it. I don't think anybody else is going to buy it. Which reminds me, and when I went to Salvation Army, I pulled up at the same time as this other guy. And he got out of his truck the same time I got out of my car. He beat me to the door. And he immediately went over to the records and started looking through them. Now, these are records that I picked over a dozen times, so I know there's nothing new in there, but it kind of enraged me that I had to wait for this guy to finish going through the records. Well, I don't care if he bought anything, and when I got a chance to look through there was nothing new in there that I wanted. The point is, I don't like competition. I don't like it one bit. I don't like the chance that there was a record there that I could have had that this schlub purchased. Don't like it, don't need it, won't have it, don't accept it. Can't abide that. Anyway, at this thrift store that absolutely positively did not rip me off, and we're going to be sure of this tomorrow when I go to talk to the bank, we're going to absolutely nail down why my card doesn't work, because it worked 3 times before that. It worked at the Taco Bueno when I was getting my chimichanga. It worked at the Goodwill. It worked at this other place whose name doesn't recall right now. Anyway, we're gonna figure that out tomorrow. Mañana. Okay. So I was at the thrift store, this other thrift store, and I got this. This is the Rick Wakeman album. Okay, Rick Wakeman of Yes. And this is a concept album about King Arthur. Not Arthur the son of Babar, the elephant. Not Arthur the Dudley Moore character, because that was later on. Anyway, Arthur the King. This has, it's got the album naturally. Of course, it has that album. And it's got the book from the insert with lots of Arthurian crap in it. Lyrics and full-color crap. Anyway, that came with us. I don't know how rare that might be. I'm sure it's interesting. And it's a fold-out. We see that? Can't see a thing. Anyway, that's there. The record's in good shape. It's good. Now this other one, I saw, and I was like, I've heard this before because it was on one of these vinyl community channels. This guy had this album and he said this is really good, and played a couple of tracks off it or something. I'm not sure who this was, but it's a jazz album, Dreams. And this is Michael Brecker. the self-titled Dreams album. Early 70s, I believe. It's on Columbia. Nice shape. Alright. Now, Jackson Browne, The Pretender. I already have a Holdout. I'll get that. This has The Pretender. It has, I believe, Here Comes Those Tears Again. Here Come Those Tears Again, I think. Yes, and Linda Paloma. Good songs. Think What You Want About Jackson Browne. He wrote a song or two that was decent. And allegedly knew how to throw a punch. We have to separate the artist from the art. We must do this. Okay, if you had a guy who allegedly beat up his girlfriend, who may not have been Daryl Hannah, maybe, by reports. If you have the artist that does that, and you still want to enjoy their music, you can't put all that together, okay? Because half of people out there who make music are scumbags. How could I ever listen to a Coldplay song? Just knowing anything about Chris Martin. He makes some nice songs, makes some good music, but I don't want to know him. I don't want him anywhere near me, my house, my wife, my family, my kids, my pets, nobody. I want to be around him. But dang, those are some good songs, some of them. Okay, finally, for this video, remember that movie that came out about these two star-crossed lovers, doomed, and they died, but at the end they were reunited in heaven, and to a great musical score. It was Titanic, but it was also Somewhere in Time, because I'm not saying that somebody lifted the ending of Somewhere in Time and put it in Titanic. I'm not saying that. John Barry's haunting score for the movie Somewhere in Time. Come Back to Me. Jane Seymour, Dr. Quinn. Now, Chris Reeve is in heaven, and Jane Seymour is alive, and I don't know. It's waiting for her. I'm not sure. I don't know, because from what I've heard about Jane Seymour, she ain't going. Chris, you ain't gonna, you're not gonna get, she's not getting there. So, you better wheel about. Alright, now this is the records that I got. Now, LPs. What I will do is I'm going to make a couple of videos about some other stuff I got. And that'll be coming shortly. But right now, though, you got this. Later, you'll have that. Maybe tomorrow, maybe later today. It all depends. I'm not a wabbit. But I'll be back. I don't know if this works on this new phone. I did the Bluetooth thing. I can't guarantee anything. I don't even know where I am. Wait, I'm still in the closet.